to go out and y'all have to draft well. Y'all have to go out and actually in these finals was they set the bar. They set the bar. That's why we did. That's why on draft night we thought we
talk about set the bar. I get what you're saying. They did a great job, right? Like we can't say like yes, the depth and all that. They're not going to be able to afford their own team.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're going to be able to give all of the supermax. They're going to get a supermax. One of them is going to get a very ridiculous contract in Chet Holmgren. Go ahead.
We don't know that, Richard, because guess what? For starters, SGA just set the tone. He just set the tone for OKC. He left over $100 million on the table. He did. He signed for two.
This is what I'm saying, though. A player now has to take less money to play with his boys.
He didn't have to. But what I'm saying,
when he did.
But what I'm saying is, we didn't have to.
Just really quickly, Alan, we can shift out. When I'm expressing to you this, you're looking at the players for accountability. And when we talk about as much as you had guys sitting out, the load management was coming from the teams. So that negativity of load management, and we're doing that wasn't players. That's not from our generation. That's not players. Players were being told to sit. They were doing that. Coaches were doing that. Sports science. That had nothing to do with it. NBA had to leave $100 million on the table in order to make sure that they could structure it and he could play with the guys that he came up with in the championship. In a perfect basketball world, you should be able to win MVP, get your top dollar, and still be able to play with the teammates and not be penalized for being those guys earning their money and coming up in their system. J-Dub is going to get a rookie extension max. Chet Holmgren is probably going to ask for close to that. So SGA has to leave $100 million on the table versus in a free market. The Lakers can go get top dollar.
A chance to check out Los Angeles' upcoming schedule on Monday. They'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. And then on Wednesday, they'll face off against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And looking at the Toronto matchup, that one marks game number 6 for them in the NBA season. We'll see if there are any adjustments between now and then.
Fine, I'm great with the accountability.
Let's take a look at our
Do you think that
starters for
this is
Sacramento.
good, or do you think this is bad?
He's
This is what I think, and I agree with you saying. This is what I think. I think that it's to a point now where Jimmy Adams have to do their job at the highest level. Not just looking at the top numbers, but not just evaluate if a guy has skill or the talent, but also do they have the fucking character? Because that matters. Do they have the character? So you go get some guys that have the character. Jalen Brunson, for example.
Like approach to himself when he's on the floor, and he can dish it back if you come at him. But for the most part, he's letting his numbers speak for themselves.
Now here's Hachimura. And since the Phil Jackson era, Shams, the Lakers are now on their
I finally hit my Ring doorbell and switched to safety, and I honestly wish I had done this way sooner. Here's what we need.
They're keeping us reporters
I think, both of them have really good points. My thing is your perspective. If you're Adam Silver, right? You move up where this is. Because, think about OKC. Yes, Shea have gotten is every single dollar that was left on the fucking table. 100%. But the problem is, when you do such a good job, like Joe Lacob in Golden State, and you're in a big market, and you have a big owner, you get to keep your team that is absolutely elite for 10 years. So there's no parity. Right? So it just depends on do you want parity in the NBA? So the NBA, so Cleveland and Golden State, they wait for it. They were paying big money for those teams, right? They kept their big three. Cleveland kept Tristan.
Bro, I ain't that smart, dog. I ain't Kevin Hart. I ain't getting no taller than that, bro.
Really due to the parity that we're seeing in
I need that go
we haven't seen this much parity in a really long time. It's wide open for teams in both conferences.
You can't talk like that on this broadcast. It's a friendly
we have to give
broadcast,
the league a lot of credit.
You can't say that on this friendly broadcast.
Which I think is leading to expansion talk. correct. We've got so much talent right now, we can kind of let it ooze out a little bit to some other area.
Certainly expansion, a couple more teams in the league really loves where they're at now. And any given year,
50% from the field, hitting .46 is the opening tip. And in last year's playoff shot, we did see a lot of players injured and unable to play.
But they took it. They put really good teams there every single year. So those teams dominated the East and West. The NBA said, hey, we want to create parity. So they the big guys, like they tax the little guys. And it's like, for me, do I agree with NBA players leaving money on the table? Probably not. But do I like the parity? Do I like that the GMs are being held accountable? Absolutely. Do I like that?
And at the end of the day, some of these injuries are flukish.
Do you want to go get your back?
You can't measure
why
that.
is it that we are one of the only professions that are forced
to really determine
we got some shit, boy.
impact the game and
just
impact
one
the
problem facing
and
the
Fox
league.
has a lot of game. I mean, really good at distributing the ball, getting into the lane, and getting his guys involved.
Malik Beasley has allegedly been betting on NBA games. Here's what people believe that proves it. In a game versus the Clippers when Beasley was on the T-Wolf, Clips were up 9 with 5 seconds left. Beasley decides to sprint down the court, cutting the lead to 7 with seconds left. The spread of this game was 8.5. Next, it doesn't help in April of this year, Beasley tweeted out from his own account, quote, "And you gotta get 7 threes to beat me tonight." Why in the world would an NBA player tweet this out before a game? Or when Giannis blocked a Beasley shot in the final second of a game that was over. He was mad at Giannis for no reason. Did this ruin his parlay? And remember the last play of the season for Beasley versus the Knicks? Beasley misses an easy pass confronting him to possibly tie the game. It's so suspicious now. Beasley has made over $53 million in his career. Why does he need to gamble? So do you think he was betting on games, or is this all just a coincidence?
And J.J. Redick is called timeout.
So for those who don't know, Malik Beasley has been sued by a sports agency he employed for allegedly breach of contract. The lawsuit was filed this summer. Basically, Malik Beasley is being investigated right now for effectively some gamblers.
Like, the first time I met LeBron, I was so nervous that it came, like, he took it the wrong way, and then, like, he just ain't gonna be my friend, and that's hurt my feelings. I met you in high school. That nigga just trying to fuck my sister. Yeah, you lost it. Yes, we lost it. Yes, that's how you make this shit, nigga. Yes, you was no. When I met you, nigga, I didn't know that. He's a breaker. I was there. You got this up on the side, nigga. We was in high school. I met you before you met me. You was famous the way I was a hood nigga. Like, the first time I met LeBron, I was so...
And a lot of people point to certain moments throughout his career.
So what's the nicest thing that you've done for a fan? Oh, that was nice.
Big substitution here for the Lakers. Vanderbilt's checked in for James. MB comes in for Hachimura. Christie's checked in for Austin Reed. And it's Gabe Vincent in for D'Angelo Russell. And the Kings
just so grateful for it, and I was like, damn. She blessed me. I was so grateful. She blessed me after, so I knew God did that.
Mr. Vincent, you communicate so much with NBA GMs. You talk with donors. You talk with personnel people. Knowing what they do, what is an overlooked part of how they operate their day-to-day jobs?
Whispering in my ear. I'm like, let's skip this over here. Let's go to the top of the she was just so grateful for it, and I was like, damn. She blessed me. I was so grateful. Blessed me happy, so I knew God did that. So what's the nicest thing that you've done?
Their thirst for information, their ability to use information to strategize, that is something that occurs every single day. Because if you know something is happening with a specific team, that can shape how you want to strategize your team moving forward.
Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Hey, Kevin, we all know the Lakers have to pound the ball inside. LeBron James says, we have attackers. That's who we are. That's what we do. We're not shooting 40 to 50 a game. We don't have the luxury of working it into the paint. That's what we're really good at. Kevin, they play to their strengths.
They got a lot of strengths. Got to do it. Thanks, D.A. Bron, he's checked in for the Lakers. And the Kings also making a change. McLaughlin's checked in. Greg, I'm sure their coach is very pleased with their offensive flow right now.
So he been doing it for other reasons. I think that is like very damning evidence right here. So that's pretty extensive. And now he's being sued, being investigated and also sued by a few other entities as well about a lot of fraud.
So they'll turn it over.
Getting kind of scary. Shout out to the chat. Ex-Piston player Malik Beasley, money problems, ran so deep. He pledged his current and future NBA contracts as collateral in one
23 seconds left in the first quarter.
What? Nah, niggas getting too much money in today's NBA to be pledging your entire future contract?
And again, unable to change momentum here.
Whoa, 28 years old. Shout out to my Atlanta scammer. You know what I'm saying? It's a scammer himself. Y'all niggas know I can't read, so I'm gonna just breeze through some of this shit. Malik Beasley thrived on the basketball court last season for the Detroit Pistons.
And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from Sacramento so far, guys, what do you think?
Well, one way to generate more offense, pound the offensive glass. That was the difference in the first.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, guys. Without those second chance points, this game would have had a much different feel to it.
Beasley signed an NBA contract with more than $59 million a year. He's not been charged with wrongdoing, but the Pistons have pulled back on a 3-year, $42 million deal.
Vintage LeBron there, owning the lane. I mean, who's going to stop that?
This nigga about to miss out on 42 M's.
McLaughlin, the pass to Sabonis.
Oh man, that's tough. Nah, that's tough.
Ellis outside.
They're saying Subai is able 2.25. Subai is leading 5.8. Subai is barred 27,000. Subai is getting 33
now for the Kings.
And they've got to talk to you.
Last year's kind of only 16 miscommunications. But
now he's able to make
don't care. We need to get to the juices. I'm his lawyer. I've been involved in finance. He added to get around him. There's people with planners, management people, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Beasley was sued in April by Hassan, and supposed to have a boutique New York-based agency performed accused Beasley of failure to repay $650,000 in cash. That was given to him as an advance against future marketing and revenue from his name, image, and likeness according to federal complaint.
100%, and you know lifelong Kings fans have to be loving the stability first and foremost that he's brought in this organization. Finally seems like they're on the track.
Beasley was certain copy of the lawsuit with Rich Carlson. I think it's going to be Rich Carlson.
James kicks to MP.
I lost the Fox in New York more than 3 years after a company that specialized in loaning money to professional athletes won a near $5.8 million judgment against Beasley in Maryland court record show. Why is there such thing as a company that specializes in loaning money to professional athletes? What in the f*** are we doing, bro? What are we doing? How does that even exist? The company, they got to put the company name in. I mean, let me see on their website if there's a nigga on there. Oh, you know what they probably do? They probably give loans to players in the limbo between the rookie contract, like getting signed, and then,
Austin Reeves is checked in for Christie. And it's Russell in for Gabe Vincent. And then for Sacramento, DeMar DeRozan. He's checked in for Lyles.